Hello, welcome to the Mindtrack.net server. I'm currently outside one of my older builds, the New Orleans class, the USS Renegade. I spent last night going through and cleaning up a lot of the exterior of the saucer hull. I relined it. Let me go ahead and get so we can get a better view here. I relined the entire outer part of the saucer hull. The part that's missing is going to be the phaser strip. Beforehand, it was pretty bad looking. It kept annoying me and annoying me because I love this ship. I love the build. Everything about this ship I loved. And it's still probably one of my best examples of shipbuilding from ground up. Because it was the first one I did with an actual 3D hull. So, but yeah, you can see the old hull down here is all jagged and kind of iffy looking and just it looks like crap. And these are the new lines. I used a program that I found online that allowed me to draw circles or ovals or whatever. It's a really cool program. I get the website and post it in the link in the descriptions if anybody's curious. But what I did is I set up my markers all the way from here to the center of the ship and forward, and then I just measured the distance, times it by 2, and that was my my diameter, and it was spot on. It was amazing how much this hull was like, hey, fix me, I want to be fixed. And when I started knocking out blocks last night and replacing them, it just all came together really nice. I mean, it was like smooth, smooth, smooth. This ship always lent itself well to design and everything else. There's some other little things on her that I'm going to go through. I'm going to update all the interior parts. I may not replace all the walls and all that stuff with current methods. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. That's the Enterprise D style with end stone base, glowstone center, and end stone top. What I am doing though is I'm replacing all the gray wool with stone. It just, to me, it looks a lot better having a stone. That way, if I decide to ever Aztec this hull, it'll lend itself a lot better to being Aztec. But you can see here just how jagged compared to the actual smooth lines of an oval are that this hull is. So I won't be changing everything on the lower part because obviously the lower part has its own little characteristics that are apart from the top part of the saucer, but in areas like the phaser strip, it will be fixed. There's no two ways about it. If I have to swap out some of the interior stuff, I will. I'm also going with the new I Panic styling for the escape hatch covers, and I'll be adding a couple more corridors and things like that to some areas of the ship that need them. Beforehand, they were just, accessed only through a small Jeffries tube, and I found that I have more than enough room to fit corridors in through there, so I'm going to do that. Apart from generalized updating, that's pretty much it for this gal. I'll be working on her off and on for the next couple of weeks, getting her updated. Again, this is one of the ships that I really liked about Star Trek, although we only saw it in, I think, one episode, and it was on the screen, and it was all shot to hell. But I still enjoyed it. We have another version of it over here. I Panic went ahead and made the 3D hull, and Imheller, when he updated the server, imported it for us. And I was looking at possibly doing a sister ship to the New Orleans. But when I was looking at this hull, it's got a lot of little odd things on it that I'm going to have to address before I can do anything with it. And I think you can see one of them right now is this odd angle part. I want to get some 3D references, some images and stuff of this before I start working on it. It's just, I don't know, it's just got some issues here, and I noticed that I'll show you when I get over to it here, that the height of the ship is a lot narrower than the other model that I used, which is a Monumentus hull. Although the Monumentus hull has been resized up a little bit, so it's actually bigger than a Monumentus hull. But yeah, it's got, it's got room, but it just doesn't seem like it has the same kind of height for the hangar and stuff that the other ship has, because on the New Orleans, this right here is a hangar, and it's only 3 blocks high. And for a minimum, it has to be 5. Minimum. That's the height of all the shuttles. That's the smallest we can make the shuttles and still be able to get inside of them. So it's a standardized adoption for all hangars. Minimum height on the hangar has to be 5. Preferably 7, but you know, minimum 5. Height can vary, but minimum for doors is definitely 5 to 6. But on this one, I do believe there's also another shuttle bay door back here, and again, it's only, you know, 3 or 4. That one's 5 high. I could probably fit one in here. It's wide enough for a small shuttle. So I'll have to get together with Titanic and get some pictures of this ship so that I can have something to look from. But what I like about it is it has the well, it's got some rough parts on the hull, so it would take a while to clean up. But it's got a really nice secondary hull, and I like how it connects with the saucer and how the saucer looks on this model. So if I was to do another one of these ships, I would like to do this one and have her as a sister ship to the New Orleans, and this one would be more traditional to the Galaxy class design as far as the interior goes. So I'd use some of the Ed Whitefire plans for it. Another thing I definitely need images for is to figure out what all these little nooks and crannies on the bottom of the saucer are for. Yeah, that just doesn't look right, so I definitely need some reference images there. But let me bounce over to the TOS real quick here. Actually, this is the B. I'll zip on over to the TOS here. There's the B, here's the A. I'll be doing some more work on the A's interior of the nacelles. I want to get these nacelles finished up so that M. Heller, it's one less thing on M. Heller's plate. He's been working really feverishly over on the D. I'll also be mirroring this. I want to get this nacelle done and mirrored over. I'll probably end up doing that myself. Panic hasn't been on very much, and he's been kind of busy with his own builds and other projects, so he hasn't had any time to work on it. And I don't know about the bomb, so I'm just going to go ahead and finish it up as well as I can. They can always rip out what I do and put something else in there if they want. But I want to get some of the I want to get this ship as close to getting ready to be fitted out as possible. I did get the piston door to work. We have ourselves a piston door. Of course, we unfortunately have to have that. I can't do anything about that. That's just the way it is. But it is now closed. It is flush with the hull. And I could have put a monostable circuit in here, but this is a quad double extender. I couldn't fit it in with the room I had. It's just not in stock. I mean, I'm sure if with comparators and mine carts and hoppers and dispensers, I probably could have come up with a way to do it, but that's just overcomplicated, and I don't have a lot of room. I actually had to shorten this room down by 1 block, so it only has 1 window. And this room's still the same size, but there's not a lot I can do. I mean, it is what it is. So it's a double cycled system, and it only opens from one side, and that's from this airlock side. And I think those doors have to be yellow. I have to look at some reference material Miller has for us. But yeep. So, and you know, doing blocks and stuff, this here is a little funky, but it looks fine. I'll live with it. If we have to, we can always change it later and fix the interior to match it. But the TOS is coming along really nice. Let's go ahead and bounce into the secondary hull here real quick. Go over here to the doors. That's these are piston doors, flush piston doors as well. If I can get in, there we go. Did some more work on the inside here. This, of course, is the cargo area. I went ahead and cleaned up a lot of the interior parts of this area. The hangar now is been pretty much worked out. I panicked in some nice detailing work on the roof for us. Thank you. Anyways, this stuff here has been kind of reworked a little bit to make it look a little bit more Star Trek-ish. But I brought it all the way down, and you know, this is the work B area. And little in the plans we have, the elevator doesn't come all the way down here, but it seemed like the thing to do, so I went ahead and put it all the way down there. Granted, I gotta swap the sides here, but other than that, you know, I'll fix that in a minute. But put little detail stuffs in there, and just as much packed little details into the ship as we can. Like this section here, and granted, it kind of looks funky, but it actually it serves a purpose. Escape pods are all set and done. And get over here, and I'll show you some of the other stuff that's been worked on. Put some more detail, put little batteries back in here, and got more escape pods, and these are all individual pods, so as they're filled, the bulkhead slams shut and the pod fires, and then there's no more, and you can't get down here anymore. According to the plans, this is a long-range sensor array, or whatever. Okay, we'll figure something out. I put the deflector in, so she's all wired. This is another addition to the ship that was not in the plans. It is much needed. I'm glad I did it. Of course, this feeds into the warp core, which iPanic did for us, and I will show you here in just a second once we work our way down to it. If I can, Minecraft really needs to incorporate that open blocks, trap door, ladder combination, because this is kind of a pain in the tail. What an annoying thing. There we go. Anyways, this is the warp core that iPanic made up for the ship, and I went ahead and put some hatches and stuff around it to kind of give it some more details and things like that, and came out really nice, really nice. And step down in here and see if we can get off the ladder. We should be able to get off the ladder here. Some more details and stuff, and this is the bottom of right above the ejector, and actually I don't think this core ejects. I'm not sure. I don't believe it does. But on either side of us, these are deuterium tanks, and deuterium processing's up next to engineering and stuff, and then I've got all the room and stuff set aside for it. And here's the Arboretum of the ship. It had just kind of a work in progress. But this big brown thing here is the actual deuterium refinery processor, converter, whatever you want to call it. I have to look it up. This will be long-range sensors, and there's power feeds and things like that go under here to go to it. So again, this is one of those areas of the ship that you don't access except through like a little hatch, and I went ahead and made little, like Jeffries tubes on either side of it so that they can be accessed, so you don't have to climb through the hatch to do it each time. It also gives me better use of space, I think. But back here's the deuterium. Gotta fix that. Thought we were able to step over it. Oh, it's one further back. Okay. Anyways, these are transceiver arrays you can't see them, but they're transceiver arrays, and this is the antimatter loading port. It's that big yellow dot thing on the bottom of the ship you see when it flies overhead. Let's go back up to engineering. I'll show you why I had to put that this right here, this Jeffries tube in. There is no direct connection between the warp core and engineering above. None. So I went ahead and extended the Jeffries tube down and brought it back to here, and now we can get from the forward part of the ship Jeffries tube system to the center part of the ship Jeffries tube systems. And I'll show you real quick. These are deuterium tanks, and of course the deuterium thing down below it and everything else. And on this tank over here, deuterium processing's right above it, and there's a little hole for it right over there. So let's go ahead and go up to engineering here. See? Logical. Now we're, you see Sulu goes down, or whatever, when they had that episode where the Klingons and stuff like that, they fight out here with swords. The TV show's sets are a lot different than the deck plans, but that's just because it's the TV show, and the TV show changed their their plans all the time to meet different aspects of the show. It's just one of those things. So you have to work around them and things, and this is the upper part of the deflector. But that was one of the tweaks I did. Here's main engineering. Turn off gamma light and get an ambient view here. Did a little bit of work in here. Still some more work to be done. But she's coming along nicely. This will be batteries. And I'm not really sure what we'll call this. Machinery unspecified. And this is auxiliary. Oh, this is another one of those areas I did some modifying. Engineering manual monitor control. In one of the episodes, I think it was Mirror, or whatever. Anyways, you see Scotty on board the Mirror Enterprise. He comes up this like ladder right here, and they do their little sabotage work here, and they exit down through here. Well, you know, this was just a bathroom, and I moved the bathroom to right here and reposition this wall a little bit, because in the deck plans it has a lot of machinery and stuff in here, but in reality there's just no way you can fit it in here unless you want to make this one block corridor here, and that I don't do that. So but anyways, so we have a machine, you know, a bathroom and a ladder up there, and of course this is another one of those odd things that I don't understand about the deck plans, but have this like little corridor here to the navigational computer, and then another Jeffries tube that leads up and above the warp lines and things like that, and up into this area of the ship that's just above engineering, right below the base of the neck. I also went ahead and fixed up the Jeffries tubes on this section of the ship, as well as the upper sections, and this, of course, just leads back down to engineering, where we were just at. But yeah, I like these Jeffries tubes, so they look a lot nicer this way. But I filled in some of the machines and stuff on the engineering deck. I think it's deck 15. I could be wrong. Filled in all this stuff through here. These will be eventually filled in as well. There's still a lot of work to be done on her as far as details and things like that. But we're coming along, and she's looking good. And I'm starting to feel a lot better about this build than I did when I first started. I'll be honest, when I first started, I was not excited at all about doing it. I just wanted to get it done and over with, so that you know, it was better than what we had, a lot better than what we had, and this turned out to be far better than any of my expectations. These are scissor lifts for landing pads and locking. This is actually the separation plane of the ship, is one deck below us, so the saucer could jettison from the secondary hull, and then the saucer, of course, can land. Of course, once it lands, it ain't getting up again, so doesn't have any means for doing so. I also changed the entry point to the emergency transporters. Beforehand it was right on the transporters, which seemed kind of dumb. So I moved it back to there, and of course I did some interior work here, and these are the new transporters, you know. So I could put it there, but I think there's a turbo lift or something right there, part of it anyways. But as you can see, it kind of has a feel of the TOS era. This is right now with our current texture pack or resource pack. This is about as close as we can get it to look. So I also put in the lower phaser mechanics. The reason I had to put in these is because they hide on this side. This is right above the wrong door. Right above the airlock. So I had to hide a lot of the machinery for a lot of the redstone for the airlock is actually hidden in there. So I figured, what the hey, you know, mirror it around since it's done. Consider it done. But anyways, the TOS has come along quite nicely, and this is the Probert C. Let me stabilize here for a second while things load. And M. Heller went through here and he did some work on the exterior. He updated the phaser strips to the I Panic pattern, which, you know, still some work to be done, but they're looking pretty good. So we're also updating this hull as well, but M moved the version 2 Enterprise D, and he's in the process of doing the hull work for the new Enterprise version 3, and I wanted to show you this real quick. Look at that. That's going to be a beaut. This hull is pretty rough, but you know, when it's set up and done, it's going to look sharp. We're all pretty excited about doing the new interior and things like that. And let me go ahead and show you what we're working with for as ideas for new corridors and stuff. We're back over by the Renegade. Got a new idea for corridors for the inside. I mean, it'll obviously this is just, you know, this is just an idea at this point, but it looks pretty good, I thought. So I showed it to M, and M seemed to like it. He wants to. He'll probably change the center line to something more blue, but which is fine. I just used gray because it's the only color I had in my palette at the time. But doesn't that look Enterprise D-ish to you? Does to me. Some minor tweaking and stuff like that. She should look pretty darn good, or really close to it anyways. I might actually adopt this for all my future builds. I like this pattern. It's easy. I don't have to worry about it when it gets to a cross section. It'll be easy to split it off and do things and stuff. So, but anyways, I appreciate you taking the time and watch the video. Again, this is the Mindtrack.net server, and feel free to log in and come check out the ships. They're all fully explorable. Of course, please use the Dynamap feature. It'll help you navigate. And please follow and read all the rules at the spawn point. All the questions that have ever been asked have been answered there. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a nice day.